So I'm going to stay on the topic of these quarterbacks, y'all, because I saw something on Twitter. On X. Saw something on Twitter. I saw something on X. I saw something on X. I saw something on Twitter. What is it? Is it X? Is it Twitter? I saw something. Rich Eisen, top 5 QBs with the most pressure coming up this season in 2023. Now, I'm going to play this Rich Eisen clip. It's about 5 minutes long, guys, so I want y'all to bear with me. I want y'all to listen to Rich Eisen talk about who are his top 5 quarterbacks that has the most pressure this season. So let me get it queued up and let me pull it up and hold on. Where we go? I'm gonna pull it up. Here we go.
The top 5 list of quarterbacks under the most pressure entering 2023. We just had Kurt Warner on the show defining I asked him, what do you define being under pressure as a quarterback the most? And he said, living up to your own standards.
Well,
which is interesting.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
True. That's true.
And I'm imagining in the real world that fans might say and sit there and go, well, screw your expectations. It's my expectations of you,
right? That
places the pressure. And thus the punditry through the proxy of the fans, it's that pressure. And what I say, it is the pressure that you feel as a quarterback. And what makes it the most pressurized situation is maybe you're not living up to your own standards, living up to the standards of others, if you do care, but also their jobs and their opportunities being truly on the line. And that is how altogether I have come up with my top 5 list, top 5 quarterbacks under the most pressure in 2023. And number 5 on this list is somebody who did have his 5th-year option picked up. But the pressure of staying healthy, however you deal with that, of falling, knowing how to fall, avoiding a concussion. How the hell do you do that? And also process and have your 2 outstanding wideouts both fed at the same time in a division that you are in a very deep end of the NFL pool. Tua Tagovailoa is number 5 on this list for me.
Okay.
And
Tua, number 5.
And there was already a conversation. Is Mike McDaniel really going to go?
I disagree with Tua
really
being
use him?
under pressure
Can
for
he really
2023.
be that guy? Can he stay healthy?
But
I think there's still a lot of questions
this
about
is his
him
list,
for a
but
lot of people in
I
this
just
league,
disagree.
as you'll even hear more salty Tua coming up. And I think he feels it. Every snap could be his last. Does he think about that? That's number 5 on this list. Number 4 is exactly who you think should be on this list. Exactly who you think should be on this list. And I'm going to put him here, even though I think he is getting slagged for no reason other than the fact that it's easy to do it. I'm putting Dak Prescott on here. Dak's $40 million a year contract used to be the outlier, and he got paid that because he was a kid with a huge upside and a lot going on. And what he needs to do is win multiple playoff games for the Dallas Cowboys, because if he does not, I'm not saying he loses his job. Others around him might. Does he feel that pressure as well? But it is time for Dak to do multiple times in a season what he did in his first game coming back from his broken leg.
Dak Prescott, he's under a ton of pressure.
Because of
I agree. He's under a ton of pressure.
Not throw 15 interceptions. What if he throws a pick or 2 in that first game against the Giants?
Yeah, it's possible.
So that's what I'm talking about. Number 3 on this list is a guy who Brockman thinks shouldn't be on this list, but this is his last chance. This is the last chance for Baker Mayfield to be a starter in the league. And he's got Evans and Godwin, and it is time for him to do this.
Baker Mayfield.
Because if he doesn't...
he's under pressure, but I don't think he's under as much pressure as Dak Prescott.
It might be Caleb Williams tank time. So he's got to do it. He's got to do it fast. He's number 3 on this list. Number 2 on this list, this is fair or not, Jordan Love's number 2. It's your show,
No.
It's your
Jordan Love is not under any pressure.
And
Aaron Rodgers is not there under his breathing down his neck. He's not under
Hall of Famers,
any pressure.
That's not fair to him. But
Not this season.
everybody is
Now, if Jordan Love
expecting
stinks it
Jordan Love
up
to pratfall, and if he does, the Packers haven't really given him much of a long-term runway. It's not like, okay, it's your show, and here's a 5-year deal at market value.
No.
They haven't done that. So they are even
If he
taking
stinks
a
it
wait-and-see
up,
approach, as is the rest of the NFL when it comes to Jordan
if Jordan Love
And
stinks
let's
it
just
up,
say Justin Fields out,
and then next year he would be under pressure, but he's not under pressure for 2023. No pressure. No pressure.
Week 1. And then they take on Atlanta in week 2, and everybody thinks that's a gimme, and they don't win that one. Again, it's pressure of expectations and what you've placed on yourself and the opportunities you might not have if you don't perform. Number 1 on this list, without a doubt, this is a guy who thinks and was 1,000% and still very well may be on a path to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know who he's going to say. Russell Wilson.
His first foray outside of the team that he was on this path to Canton. And now he's got a coach who is a quarterback whisperer of the first variety.
Yeah.
Who took Drew Brees once upon a time and hooked up with him. And they're on a path to Hall of Fame together with Sean.
Now,
Payton
Russell
Wilson is number 1
is under pressure.
Because so many people
and he
outside pressure.
He's close to number 1.
Inside pressure.
He's close to number 1.
Gonna do this.
Russell, I agree with Tua. I don't agree with. I don't agree with Jordan Love. I agree with Russell. I agree with Baker.
Wilson is the quarterback under the most pressure in 2020.
But he's not under the most pressure. Nobody on this list.
Another year at such a salary cap level, they can't part ways with him. But man, after last year.
Okay, now you heard what Rich Eisen had to say about his top 5 with the most pressure.
Pressurized quarterback of 2020.
Think we need one more?
Actually,
all right, we'll
I do not.
Now, you heard what he said. The top 5 quarterbacks with the most pressure for the 2023 season. He said Russell Wilson was
the top 5 list.
Russell Wilson was number 1. Who did he have at number 2? I think he had Russell Wilson number 1, Jordan Love 2, Baker Mayfield 3, Dak Prescott 4, and then he had Tua at 5. And Tua should not be there. Dak is under pressure. Dak Prescott is under immense pressure to get it done in Dallas. Like if Dak stinks up the joint and Dallas doesn't make the playoffs, they move on from Dak Prescott. They have to. They're gonna have to swallow their loss. If Dak stinks it up, he's out of there. If Dak Prescott have a season like Russell Wilson did last year for the Broncos, he's out of there. Out of Dallas. No more. For real. I'm telling you. Listen. I'm telling you. Russell Wilson. He can't have another season like last year. He can't have another season like last year. So he is under pressure. But I think Dak is under more pressure than Russell. I think Dak Prescott is under more pressure than Russell Wilson. I really do. Like, Dak Prescott is under pressure. He is. Baker's under a little pressure. I mean, but nobody considered Baker Mayfield to be this, super, I never looked at Baker like a super, like basically Baker, if his career ended last season, he had a great run. He had a great run for what his ceiling was. In my opinion, like Baker, man, he could walk away and hold his head high from what he was able to accomplish. In my opinion, because I never thought that he would be an elite quarterback in NFL. Jordan Love, he should not be on the list. Like, he is not under any pressure Tua Tagovailoa not under any pressure. He was hurt half the season last year. Why is that? Why is nobody questioned his performance? They just question his injury. So that's not a knock. That's not going to put pressure on him. Pressure on him to do what? Not get hit? I mean, come on. Who else did he say? He said Jordan Love. He said Russell Wilson. He said Baker Mayfield. He said Tua and Dak. And that's it. But I'm here to tell you,